Good evening and welcome to this episode of History or Bust. I'm Jake Donoho alongside Teaghan Carter. Today we will be covering 4 unsung heroes of the Cold War, a tense moment between America and the Soviet Union from the 40s to the 90s. First up on the list is Vasily Arkhipov, a senior Russian submarine officer who prevented a catastrophe during the Cuban Missile Crisis that would have caused World War III. He was born in Russia in January of 1926, and he joined the Soviet Union Navy team when he came of age. He was second in command to the Russian submarine B-59 when the incident happened. In July 1962, after learning about the Soviet Union's missile shipments to Cuba and the construction of new military facilities there with the help of Soviet technicians, U.S. President John F. Kennedy decided to declare a naval blockade of Cuba. By October of that year, tensions were escalating to the point where U.S. ships were throwing explosive charges at the Russian submarines, unaware that they were armed with nuclear-tipped torpedoes. This caused the already exhausted Russian captain of the B-59 to wrongly assume that the nuclear war had already begun and ordered the crew to fire the torpedo. Vasily, however, correctly guessed that it was a misunderstanding, as the U.S. ships were merely trying to figure out who the identity of the sub was and argued with the captain not to fire the torpedo, and he decided not. Eventually, the submarine went up to the surface, and the U.S. ships did not fire on them. The sub eventually returned back to Russia. The Soviet Union did not speak of it. It wasn't until a few years after this death that his story came into light. This is a really interesting person. A lot of times you don't really hear the side of the Russians. A lot of time, growing up in America, obviously. And to kind of have a guy to just say, like, whoa, wait a second, this can get really bad is really mesmerizing.
It's really important that he made that decision to be like, wait, how about we don't fire the nuclear, missiles quite yet? Maybe we should hold off, make sure that we're really going that route right now. I think that it could have gone much worse, much differently if he hadn't made that decision to call for it to stop.
Oh, definitely. A lot of catastrophe could have occurred if it wasn't for him, I think.
Next up, we have Stanislav Petrov, who, like Vasily, also helped prevent a nuclear war, specifically during the year of 1983, where he was known as the man who saved the world. Petrov was a lieutenant colonel of the Soviet Air Defense Force. He was part of a well-trained team which served at one of the Soviet Union's early warning bases. His main job was to register missile strikes and report them to his superiors. On September 13, 1983, the early warning radar gave off warnings of an ICBM missile approaching the base, along with 4 others. Petrov, along with others, suspected these missiles to be false alarms, though he later admitted that he wasn't 100% sure. He called his superiors to say that the radar was going through an error. He and everyone else wound up waiting for 23 minutes to see what would happen, since that's when the nukes would hit. When he realized nothing was happening, he was relieved. A movie was later made about him called The Man Who Saved the World. So another, side of that we don't necessarily hear about, another Russian, point of view, another who made that call again to maybe we should just not,
definitely
say that this is nuclear war right now. I
think a lot of things with the Cold War, especially, tensions were high, and it was more like action rather than talk to a lot of people, and the fact that there were some smart people out there just saying, like, wait a second, let's hold back, this might not be worth it, is really mesmerizing to see.
Yeah, those cool-headed people are what really got us through that, I think.
Exactly. We'll be covering more on History or Bust after this commercial break, including a soldier who helped civilians in Vietnam and a U.S. general who fought in the Korean War. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Jitters Coffee House. Located on the first floor of the Wells Towers, Jitters is a student-run coffee lounge and offers a variety of coffee and ice cream-based drinks and is home to many entertaining programs, including live music, gamer trivia nights, and other performances. Coordinate your activity by emailing jitters@uww.edu. Jitters is completely run by volunteers who can earn service hours and even receive a free drink during their shift. Stop in tonight at Jitters Coffee House, where fun events and community come together.
Welcome to the University Bookstore. The University Bookstore provides students with the opportunity to purchase apparel, gift items, textbooks, snacks, supplies, and other necessities right here on campus. The bookstore is also home to textbook rental, where you can find many of your required textbooks. Our friendly staff always goes the extra mile to provide customers with a quick and pleasant experience. Visit the bookstore today to find great deals on everything you need to succeed as a Warhawk.
The Department of Communication offers students the opportunity to explore the world through the faculty-led travel study program. The course consists of both in-class lecture and a 3-week travel component at the end of the semester.
You have a life that is insanely busy. You don't have to give up so much time to do a 3-week travel study, and you can compact a lot in 3 weeks.
The course is worth 3 credits and is open to all majors. The program features group travel with peers and faculty.
I think the benefit of traveling in a group like the travel study is there's always somebody there to experience new things with you, and you always have new friends to gain.
Travel Study offers a variety of travel destinations, including a trip to Ireland every other year. Develop new relationships, participate in enriching cultures, and experience personal growth while abroad.
With the travel study, it was so great being able to go to places and really experience the value that they can give to our own culture and just to me as a person.
For more information, please visit.
Are you bored on campus? Then come down to Warhawk Alley in the University Center. We have everything you need to take a break from your studies and have a great time. So come blow off some steam with our air hockey, darts, foosball, video games, 8 top-of-the-line Brunswick pool tables, and our 10-lane bowling alley. We have nightly specials, blacklight bowling, tournaments, and tons of chances to win prizes. For more information or to set up a reservation, call Warhawk Alley at 262-472-5681.
Tech Crew is a position at the University Center that we have that employs students as workers to provide AV support for various events. Conferences, camps, orientations, entertainment events such as magicians, comedians, bands, and a wide variety of various things that the University Center hosts.
Tech Crew is a great place for people who are interested in lighting and sound to really get hands-on experience and to learn and to grow, and just to be surrounded by great people who also want to learn.
It is that atmosphere. It's fun, it's entertaining, you learn a lot. I've been here for a long time and I've learned a lot about various different types of people, different types of events. I've met a lot of connections that will help me later in life, and it's just fun to be around and do what you like to do in a setting where you can learn too.
Sign up for Tech Crew today.
Welcome back to History or Bust. Let's continue down the list. Up next is Drew Dix, an American sergeant who helped save civilians during the Vietnam War. He was born in 1944 in New York. He enlisted in the Army in 1962, hoping to help out during the Vietnam War. After being promoted to staff sergeant, he was assigned as a military advisor to the Army of the Republic of Vietnam in 1968. He led a group of local fighters in rescuing civilians and driving the Viet Cong forces out of the city. Once, when Viet Cong forces were attacking the city of Chao Phu, Drew noticed that a nurse was trapped in a house near the center of the city. Dix organized a relief force, successfully rescued the nurse, and returned her to safety. When he learned of other trapped civilians, Dix voluntarily led another force to rescue 8 additional civilian employees located in the building, while also being under gunfire. The following day, he assembled a 20-man force and, though under intense enemy fire, cleared the Viet Cong out of the hotel, theater, and other adjacent buildings within the city. During this portion of the attack, Republic of Vietnam Army soldiers, inspired by the heroism and success of Dix, rallied and commenced firing upon the Viet Cong. He was awarded the Medal of Honor for his heroic actions. This is just another guy during the Cold War where he just puts everything aside and says, these are my men, this is what I need to do, this is why I signed up for it. And a lot of Medal of Honor people are like that and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And not just caring about his own people, but caring about the civilians that he's in charge of. He says, this is where I've been placed, this is who I'm supposed to take care of, and I'm going to do the best of my ability, use the best of my ability to take care of these people, no matter the cost. Like going under intense fire from the Viet Cong to save a nurse, is amazing. And he did it again. He's like, I'm going to take more people. I'm going to get more people out of that area. I'm going to clear more Viet Cong. I'm going to protect this area with my people in it.
Exactly. The best soldiers not only care about their own men, but the people around them that they're trying to protect as well.
Exactly. Finally, we have Walton Walker, a general who served during the Korean War. Before that, he had a distinguished career fighting in World War II. As a 4-star general, he was ordered to help support the South Korean Army during the Korean War. Truman and General MacArthur insisted that the American line was not to give an inch, which made a strategic retreat, the best option for the safety of the troops, impossible. Walker decided to disobey this order and instead tried to save his troops, saying, "There will be no Dunkirk, there will be no Bataan. A retreat to Busan would be one of the greatest butcheries in history. We must fight until the end." Walker's leadership allowed time for the U.S. and ROK troops to establish an effective defensive perimeter around the port city of Busan and made him one of the first heroes of the Korean War. Because of his brilliant strategies, he was able to save the 8th U.S. Army and was able to establish South Korea as it is today. Sadly, he died in South Korea in a Jeep accident in 1950. Wow. That takes a lot of guts to say, no, I won't do what you tell me to do because I think it's going to be worse for my people and I need to do what's best for my people.
Exactly. It takes a lot of guts in the military. They train you to follow orders constantly. The punishments for not following orders are quite severe, I think. And the fact that he was able to make that decision and say, this is not what should happen. There's men there who need my help, and I'm going to disobey this order for the better of everybody.
Yeah, just risk it because those people were more important than the punishment he could receive for that order. And I think that's just insanely amazing of him to make that decision, make that call.
That's going to do it today for History or Bust. We hope you enjoyed the show, and have a good night.